Hey everyone, and welcome back to my first video on my new channel, my Pokemon channel, where I do top 10s and top 5s of Pokemon. So this is going to be my first video, and well, just like every other YouTuber really does, not on their first video, but they like doing their top 10 favorite Pokemon. So this is my top 10 favorite Pokemon. So I'll just be showing like 10 pictures of each Pokemon. So yeah, let's get started. My number 10 favorite Pokemon of all time is Ampharos. And this is kind of a random choice, but I have some backstory around it. So, not like a couple years ago, I was still a big fan of Pokemon, like I knew all the regions and all that, but I can still get memories of when I played Pokemon, played through Pokemon Gold. I didn't actually play the whole thing, but I caught a Mareep, and I didn't know how to evolve it into an Ampharos. So that's when I had to look it up online, and I evolved it into an Ampharos, and it wrecked everything in its path, especially water types and flying types. Every time if they put a water or flying type out, I just wreck it with Ampharos. It was crazy, and the best part about it is that they gave it a Mega Evolution. Don't acknowledge that. And the best part about it is that they gave it a Mega Evolution, which I thought was really cool, but the thing is that I never got to use it because I don't know how to get it in Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So yeah, that's really the worst part about it. But let's move on to our number 9 spot. Our number 9 spot is Aggron. The reason that Aggron is my number 9 favorite Pokemon is back when I played Pokemon Sapphire, when that was the only Pokemon game I had besides Pokemon Leaf Green and Fire Red, which those I don't even think I played as much or even defeated the game. But this Pokemon was always one of my favorites because I would always go to Victory Road right after I defeated the champion. And usually I'd go to Victory Road, or maybe even before I beat the champion, to where I can beat it again with Aggron. I'd always go in Victory Road, get a Lairon, train it a couple levels until it was at least like level 70, because that was the level that my Blaziken was. Like literally, it was a really high level, so I tried to get it up as high as I could. And it took really forever. But this Pokemon I've always wanted to have before I defeated the champion in Pokemon Sapphire. And they also gave this Pokemon a Mega Evolution too. You know, I really didn't like this Pokemon that much because they got rid of... I'm pretty sure they got rid of the rock typing and just made it steel. I can't remember though. That's one of my least favorite parts about it, because I'd always use the move Stone Edge, and it would wreck everything in its path. But since it's not a rock type anymore, it wouldn't do as much damage when I was playing Pokemon Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby. So that's one thing I hated, but that's why it really isn't like a little bit lower on the list. So let's get to our number 9 spot. It's weird. Our number 9 spot is Our number 8 spot. Our number 8 spot is Cascoon. Probably a really weird Pokemon that would be on a top 10 favorite Pokemon list, but I have reasoning. It was the second shiny I've ever got before I even knew what shinies were. So definitely this Pokemon would be on my top 10 list. Even though it's really stupid, I did eventually evolve it into a Dustox. I actually didn't find a shiny Wurmple. I actually just found a straight shiny Cascoon in the first forest. I can't remember what it's called because I haven't played Alpha Sapphire in so long. So I just found it, just out of nowhere. I just found it, and I saw the sparkle, and I was like, oh, I remember that from the other Pokemon that I caught, which I'm not telling you yet. And I eventually caught it with just straight away. I caught it. I didn't knock it out or anything. and I didn't know what shiny Pokemon were at that time or anything. That's why it's on my list. And shiny Dustox actually looks really cool, but I didn't get to use it for a short time because I'm pretty sure that I forgot to save. No, I didn't forget to save, it's just that my Game Boy died. So, let's move on to our number 7 spot. So here what we got here is Lotad. Again, this was a shiny that I caught, but this time it was the first shiny that I've ever saw, and I didn't even know what shinies were at the time, like I told you before. Even when I found that Cascoon, I didn't look it up or anything. I just used it on my team until the end of the game, everything. And the thing is that I didn't know how to evolve it into Ludicolo, so it never evolved. So it just stayed a Lombre for the whole entire game. And if you're wondering why Lombre isn't on this spot, it's because, well, I didn't really like the look of Lombre, but I really liked the look of Lotad a lot better, even though it just looks so derp. Like, look at its eyes. Its eyes. But yeah. So, that's our number 7 spot. So let's go ahead and get on to our number 6 spot. Now our number 6 spot is Barboach. The reason that, by the way, most of these Pokemon are from the Hoenn region, and if you want to know why, it's because, well, it was actually the first Pokemon game that I ever played was Pokemon Sapphire. The first ever Pokemon game. I didn't even know what Pokemon was. I was just playing it when I was about 4 years old, and I didn't even know that you had to, because I got stuck on the part where you had to talk to the clock in Pokemon Sapphire, because I didn't know how to read at the time, so I didn't know what to do. But eventually, I talked to the clock one day when I just got on and decided to press A everywhere, and I pressed A on the clock, and then I found out how to do that. So that's actually the reasoning how I actually got to play Pokemon Sapphire the right way. So the reason that Barboach is one of my favorite Pokemon is because I remember those times in Pokemon Sapphire when in Lavender Ridge Town, I can't remember what it's called, I would go over to I'd go over to one of those pond things. I'd fish, and I've always find Magikarps and Goldings until one time I found a Barboach, and I thought, wow, that thing's cute. I mean, it probably isn't cute to a lot of you guys, but it is to me. And I remember catching one of them and just sticking it in my PC box for the rest of, like, my life. And then one time I just got it out, and I trained it until it evolved in the Whiscash. And I was like, ooh, this Pokemon looks cool. And it learned the move Muddy Water, which that was a really good move. I loved that move, just using it on a bunch of Fire-type Pokemon that get wrecked. So yeah, I'm pretty sure the highest level I got Barboach was Whiscash was only level 60. So, I guess, let's get on to our number 5 spot. Muck. Alolan Muck. The second I saw Alolan Grimer, only a couple months ago, I thought they really did some changes on normal Grimer, because Grimer used to be one of my least favorite Pokemon of all time, because it was literally just a pile of sludge, and it was in different colors like Muck. And I so thought that Muck was cool when I saw its Alolan form, all the different colors and the crystals, and it looked so cool to me. And the best part about it is that it's a poison and dark type, which that means it's only weak to ground, and that's it. No other weaknesses. So it's like the water ground situation where it's only weak to grass. I used it on my Pokemon Sun and Moon team 3 times in a row, but the second time when I played the Nuzlocke, I died at when I was battling that Meowth in the trainer school, the teacher Emily, so all my Pokemon died from the Nuzlocke. But I eventually restarted one more time, and yeah. I did really good, and then all my Pokemon died again on the Guzma battle, and then I restarted again, and I been able to, so actually I used Grimer 4 times, but Muck 3 times. So that's the reason that he's really my favorite Pokemon. He's a really good Pokemon, especially when he knows the move Gunk Shot. He wrecks Fairy-type Pokemon. The only thing is that he's a Dark-type, so Fairy is equivalent to him. So let's get on to our number 4 spot, because this one's interesting. Kyogre. Also known as Kyogre, because that's what I called Kyogre when I was about 6 or 7 years old, I can't remember, when I was just doing a bunch of stuff. Like, it took me a whole entire break, 2 years on the same exact Pokemon Sapphire, because I don't remember being able to read. So I couldn't really read the text, and I didn't know what to do until I just, went random places to do stuff or just to look around. And I would just eventually end upon where I'm supposed to go. And yeah, so that's how I got to Kyogre. And I called it Kyogre for a whole entire year until I actually looked up Pokemon. And the first Pokemon playthrough I ever saw was Chugga playing Pokemon Emerald until I realized it was Kyogre. And I still call Rayquaza Rayquaza. That's why I call it that. And these last three are basically my top 3. The point of the video is my top 3, basically my first. So let's go. My number 3 spot is Blaziken, and this Pokemon is just beast. I remember when I evolved my Combusken into Blaziken after I challenged the Mauville City Gym, because I didn't catch any other Pokemon. All I used was Combusken. All I used was my starter Pokemon, and I just went through the whole entire game with my starter Pokemon. Even when I battled water types in the last gym, I wrecked every single one of those Pokemon with the Blaze Kick. This was the first Pokemon I ever got in the 90s. Until just one point where I stopped playing it, when it was level 98 or something. Can't remember why, but I remember it getting to 98, and I would always use it. I didn't use any other Pokemon that game. I didn't even catch Aggron or any of that, just Blaziken. So that's the reasoning why Blaziken is my 3rd favorite Pokemon. Also, it just looks plain beast. My number 2 favorite Pokemon is Delphox. The first Pokemon I ever got to level 100, Delphox, in Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. I got it by getting a Fennekin in trade, and then I just leveled it up to level 100 so quickly, it was crazy. And you can tell that this used to be my favorite Pokemon before Sun and Moon came out, because, well, my old channel was named Delphox360 Mystical Fire. So that's the reasoning why this is my number 2 favorite Pokemon. Its first evolution also looks pretty cute, and plus it's a Firefox Wizard. And my number 1 favorite Pokemon of all time, Litten. That's why my channel is named Litten the Kitten / the Electromite, representing my other channel. So the second I saw this Pokemon, I was like, I'm getting that Pokemon. I didn't even dare to look at the other starters, unless there are cats too. But nope. I always loved cats, so they are my favorite animal of all time. And I was actually really disappointed when I saw this final evolution. It's a Fire Cat Wrestler. I didn't like it at all. So, but it was still really good when I evolved it into it. It was still really good in battles and all that. But still, Litten's still my favorite. Incineroar is probably in my top 50. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please sure to leave a like, and if you didn't, you don't have to leave a like. This is all based on my opinion, so if one of your least favorite Pokemon is on this list, I'm sorry, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.